Hi, I'm Brett Larkin. I post new yoga videos to YouTube every single week, and I'm now posting yoga classes for total yoga beginners every Tuesday. So if you're new to yoga or interested in learning, make sure to like and hit subscribe. All right, so Murray, step off the mat for a minute, because I'm gonna show first what this looks like when someone who's been doing yoga a long time does it.
Okay.
And then we're gonna see the difference and how much you can modify it to make it fit your body at home, even if you're a total beginner. So the first thing I suggest is to stand with your feet hip width apart, especially if you're new to yoga. All right, don't have the toes touching, even though some videos might say have the toes touching. I think it's better to have the feet hip width apart and parallel, spreading through the toes. We don't wear socks in yoga. We have a video about that if you guys want to learn more. So on the in-breath, because everything in yoga is related to the breath, and you can kind of mirror me as I do this. On the in-breath, you reach the arms up. There you go, perfect. And then I would suggest just taking the arms about to 45 degrees, right? Instead of taking the palms to touch, because look at what happens when we bring the palms to touch on Murray's shoulders. They tighten, right? Shoulders move towards the ear. So just take it up to about here. Perfect. Okay, on the out breath, you're gonna fold. You just fold forward, right? You don't have to touch the floor. You can even just hold opposite elbows. So I'll show it all and then we'll break it down. On the inhale, you come into a flat back. So I'll show you, we'll work on it. Flat back, glide the shoulders down and back. On the out breath, you step back to a plank pose, okay? This is a really challenging posture. So for beginners, you can just drop your knees to the floor. That's what we're gonna do with Murray. You zipper the abs in. You're gonna lower down. So you're in a little prone position, come into a back bend. I know, it's a lot. And then you're gonna push back into downward facing dog on an exhale. Then you take a couple breaths in down dog, and we have a video showing how to do down dog for both men and for beginners, and if you have broad shoulders, but it involves keeping the knees pretty deeply bent, And then on an out breath, you're just gonna walk back to the top of the mat. Now, in traditional Surya Namaskar, sometimes people jump to the top of the mat or do it in 2 big steps. But for a beginner, we're just gonna walk to the top of the mat in as many steps as you need. It's totally fine, and keeping the knees bent. Same thing, inhale, half lift, exhale, fold, inhale, circle the arms down, around, and up, and exhale, either hands to prayer or hands to the sides. And that's the whole link. So it's a lot of postures linked together, which is challenging, but let's see it in your body now. We'll just take it piece by piece, and at home, I want you to follow along. So come, bring out from your mat. So step 1, feet hip width and parallel. Good. So you can even turn your toes in a little bit more. True parallel with the feet. Nice job. Good. Inhale now. Reach your arms down, around, and up, but not so much that your shoulders get hiked up. Just easy. So this is the inhale. Exhale, bend your knees and fold forward. So bend your knees, just fold over your legs. Bend your knees, bend your knees, bend your knees, bend your knees. Good. Keep your knees bent and just come into like a little half lift. Now this is something that a lot of people find challenging, but you just want to, So I kept my hand here. Do you feel the difference? This is totally different from how you were doing it. Yep. And then don't lift the head, just keep the neck nice and neutral. Okay, now plant the hands and step back to a plank pose. So this is gonna be the out breath. So you're gonna put your hands on the ground and step back to a plank position. Perfect, you got it. And you wanna modify, you have a wrist injury or something going on?
No, I just...
Okay, spread the fingers wide. Let's get a close up on his hands. So his plank pose actually looks really good. His shoulders are in line with his hips, which is awesome. But I know he's new to yoga, so I'm just gonna say drop your knees, right? Let's just make it a little easier to begin with. And then you're gonna rock forward and lower all the way. Okay, no. So what he did is he kind of was ready to like belly flop into the ground, right? So what I'm gonna encourage Murray to do, and this is hard, try this at home, zipper your abs up and in. So turn on your core. Rock forward. And now keep your elbows close to your body and bend the elbows so it's like a push-up as you go down. But don't let, But now his shoulders tightened, right? So there's a lot of moving pieces. Can you come back? Let's try it again. So I don't want this to hit the floor too soon. We're gonna rock forward. Okay. Keep your shoulders relaxed best you can. And then elbows into the body as you go down. Oh, you're so strong. This is awesome. This is awesome. Keep it relaxed up here if you can. Okay. all the way to the floor. It's hard. It's so hard.
That's very hard.
It's very hard. And that's the modified version, and it's really hard. So you want to keep the shoulders relaxed, and you don't want your belly to just drop quickly to the floor. You want to try to keep the whole body in one straight line, lowering in one piece. Okay, I'd love to tell you it gets easier, but it doesn't. It gets harder. Okay, so now press your hips into the ground. His toes were curled under, but now he can let his feet go flat. Yeah, so no problem there. And he's gonna come into baby cobra. So his arms are already in the right position, which is great, directly underneath his shoulders. Press your hips into the mat, lengthen your tailbone, and just lift the chest. Again, he wants to try to lift with the chin because, and you know, so does everyone. It's like, oh, you're telling me to lift, so I'll lift with my chin. Try to keep the chin neutral, and awesome, Murray. This looks great because he's just using his upper body and maybe the low back as well, turning on. Where do you feel this?
Lower back and shoulders.
Yeah. So keep pressing the hips down. Press down through the feet so much that your kneecaps lift off the ground. Press. Yeah. Yes! That's it. Did we see that? Yes. So relax. Do it once more for them. Do we see this in the camera? And now relax. And now, okay. So that much engagement in the legs. Perfect. That's awesome. Okay. And now press back to all fours. Whew. And now downward facing dog when you're ready. So you can adjust the hands, spread the fingers wide. Yep, and remember, bend your knees in your down dog. Yep, and you want to walk your hands, or either walk your feet forward or walk your hands back. Yep, yep. Really spread through those fingers for me. Perfect, relax the head. Here's his down dog. And now you're gonna walk, stroll to the top of the mat. Yep, so you're in that forward fold position again. Now it's okay, bring your feet to parallel. Yep, perfect. And find that flat back. Beautiful, but keeping the neck neutral. Good, nice, and then fold. And now circle your arms down, around, and up. Inhaling. And exhaling. How do you feel?
A little lightheaded.
That's actually great that you said that, because a lot of people leave me comments and let me know that they feel lightheaded. And it's very common because if you haven't been practicing yoga before, we just took the heart above the head and then the head back above the heart. And it's you know, it just takes time for the body to get used to moving that way. So if you feel lightheaded, you just want to go really slow, right? You don't want to speed up the postures. You don't want to go too fast, and you want to go slow and just modify as needed. So if it feels like, you know, folding forward all the way like this is too much, you can kind of just keep the hands on the thighs and just fold forward so much that the head stays in line with the heart instead of the heart going over the head. That's very common for beginners, and it will ease up over time. What else did you feel? What other questions do you have?
I mean, there's just a lot to remember to try and get all those poses right. I think it just needs lots of practice of going through it step by step by step by step.
Okay, so I'm going to make him do it again, and I want you to do it again with us at home. And this time we're going to talk a little bit more about the breath. Okay?
Okay.
So top of the mat, feet parallel, and I won't be as picky about all the little alignment. Feet hip distance apart, so you have your nice big foundation. Inhale, reach the arms up. Whoops, perfect. Exhale, fold forward. Through the nose, if you can. Inhale, half lift through the nose. Exhale, step back to that plank position. Yep, and you can drop your knees to the floor right away if you need to. Yep, exhale all the way down to the floor. That was so much better than the first time. Inhale into that little cobra pose. Activate the legs. Yep, so the feet, the toes can be untucked. You're just pressing, yep, perfect. So that's an inhale, neutralize the back of the neck. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. And then inhale, walk forward to the top of the mat. Come into a little flat back. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, circle the arms all the way down, around, and up. Come to stand. And exhale, hands by the hips. Or hands at prayer. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
But that was a lot better the second time round.
It was a lot better the second time round. So you at home, just keep practicing this. You can rewind the video and follow along. A couple little pieces I want to point out before I let you go, because this is where people often get tripped up, is this is an in-breath. This is an out-breath. The flat back is an in-breath. The out-breath, the step back to plank. Now in traditional yoga, like ancient Ashtanga lineage, right? People step back and you lower all the way, right? Everything's happening. It's one big exhale. So the step back to plank, that's all one exhale. So people often get confused about that. So I just wanted to clarify that when you step back to plank, it's an exhale lowering all the way down to the floor. So in your case, taking the knees down, then this is an inhale. Then this is an exhale in down dog. And then an exhale. Usually we stay here for 3 breaths, right? In and out through the nose. An exhale will actually walk us forward. So I think we did that wrong on our second time. An inhale will come into the flat back. An exhale, fold. An inhale, up. And an exhale, hands down or hands to prayer. So that's how the breath links up. And I'm breathless just doing it. It's very, very challenging. So it's a little bit crazy that in some of the modern yoga studio practices, they have beginners doing this like 10, 15 times a class over and over and over again. So if you're going to a studio that is having you do a lot of Surya Namaskar, know that you can modify, know that you can slow it down, and practicing at home to a video like this or to any of my videos on YouTube or any online teacher you like is a great way to practice and build up your strength.
I think that would be a great way because then I'd feel like I knew something because I'm not used to doing those physical things with a routine and getting that right, and I'd be nervous in a class of a lot of people. So,
yeah. So just keep doing this one at home.
Thank you.
We'll see you in the next video. Hey, if you like this video, you are going to love my free Pure Beginner Master the Basics yoga class. Not only do I cover the top 10 yoga poses you're most likely to encounter as a beginner, but I give you a downloadable cheat sheet showing you exactly how to do each of these moves so you know you're doing them correctly. Let's banish the fear and confusion of doing it wrong. Let's master the basics together. Go to BrettLarkin.com/beginner for your free download, and I'll see you on the mat. Namaste.